Hey, hello, how are you? This is Dr. Carla Michelle, and I'm just happy to have this time with you today. And as we get started, I want you to remember to always think about life in a way that gets you to where you want to go. Always think about life in a way that gets you to where you see yourself, where you believe you can be, where you want to go, where you want to be. So a lot of times, and we'll discuss this in this episode today, a lot of times we just live life without direction, without purpose, without really understanding, what is it that I really want from life right now? And so in this episode, I want to talk about the business of living and profiting from a life that's well managed, profiting from a life that is well managed. Who does not want to profit? We may not want to well manage our lives, but many of us want to profit and want to understand how to do it. We do it more in our professional lives. If you own a business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a solopreneur, if you have employees, it is all about profit. It's all about understanding the value that you want to bring to your clients or your customers. It's all about what is the mission of the business, what is the vision of the business. And then there's why can't we see our lives as a business? And if we saw our lives as a business, how would we manage it? And I hope that we manage it well. So once again, I'm Dr. Carla Michelle. I'm happy to have this time with you. I'm recording why I am in Paris, so bonjour. Um, that's about all I know. Now I know a little bit more. But if you don't know, if this is your first time here, we have had this podcast for about 5 years now, I believe it is. And it has been a platform where we've had guest speakers in, where we've had all types of whether it's business or personal or something to inspire you. There is many, many good guest. And I hope that you would avail yourself to that. You will also find a lot of episodes where it's just me and not just me, well, but it is me where I am just sharing what I'm learning from life and what I want to impart into you and what I think would be helpful to you. And that is another one of those episodes today. So I just want to thank you for this time and spending it with me. So the business of living and how thinking of your life as a successful, profitable business can lead to profound benefits. Let me read that again. The business of living and how thinking of your life as a successful, profitable business can lead to profound benefits. I know we think of life, but do we ever think of it as a successful and profitable business? A successful and a profitable business. And I think that is truly key to seeing some changes in your life. If you see it as a successful and a profitable business. All right. So I want to kind of give you some details of why I'm talking about this. If you have not already figured out, and I kind of touched on it a little, many times we overlook the power of having a systematic mindset as we do business. Or even, let's say you don't have a business, but you have a job. And in that job, there is certain things that you look for, whether it's the culture of the company that you want to work for. Do your skills and your talents fit? The pay, well, we cannot forget the salary. We go in, we look for, is there a way to promote? Is there any plan in your progression to another level or learning another skill set? So we don't just take a job just to take a job. Many times, yes, we do. Let me clarify that. Many times we do take a job just to get money. But usually when we're just doing it for the money, we're very unhappy with ourselves and how we have to show up every day, and you're really not haven't bought into what the company stands for, and you're just, I just need this check, which I want to I don't want to use the word warn, but there is also a warning of you will not last long mentally and emotionally or physically when you're doing it just for the money. Now, short term, if there's some goals you have and that you are trying to fix something that is out of place and you want to get it right, short term, I can see that. But when it's long term, when it's decades of being at a job and you're stuck there because of the salary you have, and you don't feel like you can get it anywhere else, or you feel like your skill set is so far removed, and to get back into putting yourself out there may not deliver the thing you want. But then that's you got to stop thinking that way. You got to start thinking in a way that things are going to work out for you and things will align for you because that's what you want. I posted on Instagram. What's that other part? Well, I don't know. Doesn't matter. But I posted on Threads. That's it. I posted on Threads, and doubts, removing the doubts allow your dreams to come to life. So removing the doubts make or allow your dreams to come to life. So if there is something that you want, if there's something else you want there and you feel like you've been at your job too long, but you're stuck with the pay and the pay is good, or you're the breadwinner and you're the one that this is dependent on. Now, this is conversation if you're the breadwinner with your spouse or with your partner. This is something that you don't just do. I'm not coaching you in that way, but it is a way of start the discussion of, hey, I really want to move. I really want to do some things. I feel that it's time. And I believe with a plan that you both can come up with something that fits and doesn't cause a panic. And it's all about, strategizing. It's all about understanding where you want to go, what you want to do, what you see yourself doing, and then some of the milestones that it will help that you can track to help you get there. Like, how can you measure it? And we'll talk a little bit about more in this episode about that. But it is business of living and how thinking of your life as a successful, profitable business can lead to profound benefits. We always want to know, like, how did that company just take off like that? Well, I'm sure they had some systems in place, um, uh, or they just met a need, not just systems, but they're meeting a need as well. And the consumer is happy about it and they want more. So I want you to want more from your life. I want you to want more from what means a lot to you, more from your family, friends, relationships, where you wake up and it is more purposeful of why you wake up and not the dread of waking up at all times. Now, it can be dread for a minute because you're working on some stuff. So you got to give yourself some time, but it shouldn't be dread forever. All right. So as I want to talk about the core business principles, right? And that's the vision, the mission, the values, and the goals. The mission, the vision, the values, the goals, okay? And that is some of the core principles I believe that everyone or have heard at one time or another. If you have a job or you're just now getting into the workforce, vision, mission, values, and goals. So if we think about that, how can we apply that to our personal lives? And I would love for this to be an interactive episode. So if you want to pause and get a piece of paper, because there's some things that might drop into your spirit and give you some insight of what your vision is. So let's talk about vision. What do you want life to look like? What do you want your life to look like? And it could say, I want my life to look like that person's or that right there. I want my life to look like that. Now, another word I like to use with like is, what do you want your life to feel like? What do you want your life to feel like? Is it the peace? Is it the happiness, joy? Is it wholeness? Is it confidence? What do you want your life to feel like? Success, um, winning? What do you want it to look like? What do you want it to feel like? I kind of play with those words, and so I hope you will too, as you're writing this down. What do you want your life to look like? Now, what we're going to do is, what do you want your life to feel like or look like in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? What do you want? How should it look? Should it look like you just work so hard and you're so worn out and you can't do anything else? I don't think you want that. So should it look like you had some sweatless victories, that you put yourself in situations that aligned with your vision, your mission, your values, and your goals? Now that's a life that I would want to live. If it aligns with my vision, my mission, my value, and my goals, then I think I would be a happy person, right? And I have to say, when I look at my life and over the years, when I decided to do something different with it, instead of letting things happen to me, I started being more of the architect of my life and planning it out. I'm reading this book, the Dynamic Law of Prayer, I think it's called. And it talked about one section, and I'm sure you've heard this, writing down this one exercise that they had some executives do was to write down what they wanted from their life in this week or month or year, right? So we're in 2024 right now. What do you want in your life in 2024? And so some of the things they wrote down actually happened in a short amount of time. And that's the power of, what is your vision, and making it plain, writing your vision and making it plain, is writing that down. What do you want? What do you want to look like? What do you want your day to look like? Many times I've written out, journaled in the morning of how I expect my day to go, how I expect my interaction with my clients. What am I wanting? What kind of phone calls am I wanting? What kind of text am I wanting to receive? I mean, I really do this. And lo and behold, by the end of the day, there's some boxes checked off. Like, I did get that email. I did get that text that I wanted. And I lay out what kind of text I want. Whether it's something, I want to go somewhere to a nice place and have lunch, and it'd be great to go with somebody, da 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 da, things like that. So that you can be that way, or you can have business goals, in that. But remember, this is personal. This is your personal life. If you run it like a business. So we have to use more of the personal stuff. And it could be, when you're out, that people are kind to you, and then that the kindness that you need, or that you're sensitive enough to be that kind person to someone else who may need it, things like that. So writing it out makes a difference. So what do you want your life to look like or feel like? And you can choose your span, and don't be scared. If you want it to look like, I know you hear it, well, let's wait, you can expect $1 million in a week. I don't know. Can you? Maybe some people make $1 million in a week. Something. I don't know I don't think we just depend on a lottery, but you got to understand, there's people doing things out there that bring them $1 million. And there's things that happen to people that bring them $1 million. And we don't want, any accidents and insurance claims to bring you $1 million. But some people are not very specific about about what they want. And, that has happened. So, but writing it down, what do you want to look like? What do you want your life to feel like? And then the mission. What is your purpose or impact you want to have? What's your mission for your life? What is the purpose and what is your impact that you want your life to have? Have you ever thought about that? What do you want? What impact do you want your life to have? Whether it's on people, whether it's on yourself or your family, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? Who am I? Who are you? What are you going to do? What is your purpose? So I feel my purpose is to encourage, to enlighten, to help people see just how amazing and awesome that they are. That's what I feel my purpose is. And I do it through the podcast, through speaking, through my client base, through, so that's the business side. So personal, I have friends that I love to encourage. I love to be a part of, being their cheerleader or their champion and being really rooting for them. So in my personal life, my children, in my relationships is being that person that is an encourager, who's a believer, who trust in the process being good for them and saying it, not just keeping it in, but that I feel is my purpose. Because how many times do you know how good it felt when someone actually said some things to you that really like, dang, I needed that. And not that I want to be like going around like, who can I say something to? But it is the time of when it's there to do that I do it. I'll text you, I'll call you. So that is my purpose and the impact that I want to have, because I want someone to see really just how great they are and how their life is not a waste of time. Their life is not a waste of flesh and blood, but they're here for a purpose. And what can I do to help you, encourage you to keep going and taking one more step? The third one, values. So what are the non-negotiable principles guiding your decisions and actions? What are your non-negotiables that are guiding your decisions and action? Those are your values. So do you have values? Businesses have values. Now, do they always follow them? Because you know, your first hire, you get the handbook and you read all the values, the vision, the mission. But what we're going to do with our lives is we're going to have the values that we want personally. And it could be, you know, I want to be the kind of person that doesn't always have like a negative mindset or negative things to say. That's a non-negotiable, that non-negotiable. I'm not going to be negative. So I am going to be that person that does their best, you know. So what is your non-negotiable? It could be the kind of, I was going to go, is salary business or personal or professional? I think it's more professional. But I also want to say, you know, you can personal the way you do handle your finances, that the non-negotiable is that you'll never be where you were before. That's just a non-negotiable. And sometimes not being where you were before could be just how you were last month, that you're always escalating. So what is that non-negotiable with that? A non-negotiable is, you will not find me. I will always have some type of exercise in my life. So the non-negotiable is to be stagnant and to not move your body and to not care about what you eat. That's like a non-negotiable for you. So you get where I'm going? So what are your non-negotiable principles guiding your decisions and your actions? Non-negotiable, I won't drink more than 2 drinks when I'm out. That's a non-negotiable. And even if everybody's like, no, you need another one, another shot, no, get them another. And, you know, they're just like all over the place about your drinking. Sometimes you got to just stand up and say, I'm a 2-drink person and that's it. Or I'm a no drink person. That's it. So what are your non-negotiables? The principles that are guiding your decisions and your actions. And we have goals. What specific measurable objectives will you get when you when you get where you want to be. So what specific measurable objectives will get you, let me say that, where you want to be? So what do you have to do? Basically, what do you have to do to be the person in your vision? What steps do you have to take? What thoughts do you have to be that person you see in the first step, the vision, and what you'll look like in 5 to 10 to 20 years, or what you'll look like next month, or what you want to feel next week? Because sometimes you can see it, but and it may take a while for you to actually see it, for it to show itself. But do you know what you can see right away is feeling it? What you can experience right away is the feeling of it. What you can experience next week is the feeling of it. You know, they say, hey, you should feel successful, or you should feel wealthy, or you should feel what something before. And that's the power of the vision, because seeing it before you see it, seeing it before you see it is that part of feeling it before it happens. Because you get that feeling sometimes, it's like, oh my God, I could feel it. Something's about to happen. Something's about to happen. Something's about to happen. So what specific measurable objectives will get you where you want to be? So what do you feel you have to do? Is it shutting your mouth more? Excuse me. Is it going back to school? Well, that's kind of professional, but yet some personal, just doing it. Is it actually taking something that means a lot to you? If your vision is one day to cook these grand meals for yourself, and it's because you want to save more money, if be more mindful of how your money's spent, but you still want to eat well. Well, what is a measurable objective? Maybe it is taking a class, maybe it's turning on YouTube and learning how to do the dishes that you are so excited about eating. But that's a part of matching your goals with your vision. As many times we take on goals, we have goals that don't even align with our vision, our mission, and our values, because we overlook what our vision and mission and values are. And then we can have goals to do something and it's not aligning. We can have goals to travel, but the vision is to, I don't know, not spend money on traveling, so you gotta, you know, let it align. You could want to lose weight personally, but yet you're consuming the things that don't match with the vision, that don't align with your purpose and your impact, that don't match your values. So in anything that we're deciding in our personal lives right now, if we're running it like a business and we want success and we want a profit, a business does that because it has to align. And what a business we should take away from the business is every year they are sitting down and they are looking at their business and how it's done or how it's doing, and they realign. So are we doing that in our personal lives? Are we taking time? My goal this year, which has not always been on point, but it has happened, is that every first day of the month is to sit down and reassess what my month was, what worked, what didn't work, what I stumbled over, what I conquered, how I felt, what my goals were, how many were met. And I'm telling you, when I do that, it helps with the next month, because one, it helps me what I want to carry over if I need to, because a lot of times in that month, I have accomplished what I said, or written down what I want to accomplish, or I have felt the way that I want to feel. So taking some time to reassess where you are. And sometimes your vision needs to be reassessed. Your mission, your values, and your goals have to be reassessed. It's not like, oh, I really don't feel that anymore, but I wrote it, so I need to do it. No, you are the architect of your life. If something's not fitting, you get back in there and you change the plan up. You change the plan up. You don't have to ask anybody. Well, I don't, unless it's affecting someone else, but you change the plan up. I think many times I want to say this even in relationships. What if you also use this? Like, what if you used having a vision, mission, values, and goals for your relationship? And then when you're out there dating, you can see if the vision that you have for your life and what it looks like in the next 5 to 10 or 20 years aligns with where their vision is. The mission, like what's the purpose or impact that you want to have being in a relationship? Then that helps you understand what their mission is for a relationship. The values, do you share the same values? What are the non-negotiables? Are there any similarities? It doesn't have to be all the same, but does it click? Does it work? Is there, because I have to say this. Sometimes we want somebody just like us. And I don't know. So I read this and I agree. Like to have somebody like me, oh, I mean, I think it would be, I don't know if it'd be great. But I believe that it could get boring because it's just me doubled. Whereas if I have someone, we have similarities, our vision is the same, our mission is similar, our values are similar, our goals are similar, meaning that they're going forward, meaning that they're bigger than us, meaning that their only goal is not to, I don't know. I don't want to put down anybody's goal, so I'm not going to put one there, but it's something that aligns. It's something that I can buy into, right? So even when you take a job because you believe the culture of the job is going to be okay. You believe that the values that the company holds align with your values. Because there's many times you can say you interview and you find out, nah, they're not what I thought, or I'm hearing some things, or I read what is it, Glassdoor and something, and I'm hearing some things, so they really don't align. Their pace is too fast or their pace is too slow. So that is, if you take that into relationships, how amazing would that be? How amazing would it be if you're teaching your children about the vision, the mission, the values, and the goals that they can have for their lives? And I'm not talking about being overbearing. I am talking about just letting them see how things can align if they see their lives as a business, if they see their lives as something profitable and successful, if they have a well-managed life. All right. I am going to leave you there and continue on the next episode of the benefits of treating life like a business. So we talked this time more about the parallels between business and life and the vision, the mission, values, and goals, and how we can take that into our lives and possibly find that difference for us, the same way, that strategy, the strategic way of thinking. If we are bringing that more into our lives, what kind of lives would we have? So thank you for joining me. This is Dr. Carla Michelle. I would like to say your favorite coach and consultant. I am signing off till next time, and I appreciate your time and your energy, and I'll talk to you soon.